So I just had a conversation with a friend recently, and we were talking about intrusive thoughts. Now, growing up, I used to fly for, my family lived abroad for a time. We took vacations. Flying in a plane from an early age never bothered me. So for our 10-year wedding anniversary, obviously fast forward many, many years. And we went on we took an airplane ride for our honeymoon too. But 10 years after our honeymoon, where I had no fear of flying, was excited about flying, didn't even cross my mind that there would be anything wrong with flying. But fast forward to our 10-year wedding anniversary, and I'm having these intrusive thoughts of like, oh my goodness, we're leaving our kids. What if something happens? What if our plane drops out of the sky? And it was like, I have never had these thoughts in my life. Is this a spiritual attack? It was so weird to me. So anyway, the whole plane ride, I was just constantly speaking truth over myself, this plane's not going to crash. The Lord has us. That I've flown in airplanes so many times before. I have no reason to be worried or concerned, no reason to be anxious. I'm speaking reality over myself. I'm speaking scriptural truth over myself, but these thoughts would not leave me alone. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything to my husband. I don't want to draw any more attention to this than is if the enemy wants to mess with my mind, that's one thing, but I'm not going to cause a ruckus and show him that I'm actually considering his lies by sharing with someone, that something's going on. But after we had arrived, I talked with my husband the next day. I'm like, listen, this was the craziest thing. I had these thoughts while we were flying. I had fear and anxiety gripping me while we were flying. And I was like, isn't that so weird? I've never struggled with that before. So fast forward another couple of years, and we go to an amusement park. And again, I grew up going to amusement parks. I love roller coasters. I never had any trauma or anything from roller coasters. Never knew anybody that had a bad experience with roller coasters. And so all of a sudden I'm on this roller coaster, and I'm again having these intrusive thoughts of what if this whole thing falls off the track? What if we get stuck? What if I get injured? All these intrusive thoughts. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I have never struggled with this before. I'm fine. Everything's fine. So anyway, I didn't really think too much of it. And then I started, for other reasons, I started this gut health supplement. And my body, and I was working out, so my body physically was getting stronger. I didn't realize how depleted I was after years of being pregnant and caring for newborns and all that stuff. I didn't realize how depleted I was because I thought everybody was tired. I thought everybody had brain fog. I thought this was just a normal part of parenting that you just absorb, and I never even thought to complain about it. I didn't even know. I was probably functioning way lower than I realized I was. I probably would have told you, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm having a 9 out of 10 day, a little bit tired, but everything's good, whatever. But then I would get put in these situations, like the plane, the, whatever you call it, the roller coaster. And I just could not escape these intrusive thoughts. I just had to really fight hard to tell myself, you're fine. So after I did all of the the gut health stuff, and I was working out regularly and all of that stuff, I went to the same amusement park, and I had a couple intrusive thoughts. But it was one thing, and it came and it left and it was gone. And I had no idea, none. I had no idea that my physical health was tied to my mental health. And I'm not crazy. I am not crazy, and I never was. And it literally was just, my body was so depleted. It was saying, please nourish me, please nourish me. Okay, so back to what I started with, and I'll end with this. My friend texted me today, and she was so embarrassed, and she was like, listen, I'm telling you this, but I'm mad at God because we just found out the gender of our baby, and I thought it was going to be this, and now I'm mad at God that it's not that, and then I'm mad at myself because I'm mad at God and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know her to be any sort of respecter of people, like of gender, of anything. She loves her children fiercely. I don't think she's actually upset about the gender of this child. I was like, I think her body is just depleted. I think she just doesn't even know what healthy looks like. But I can see it plain as day because I've been there. And not only that, but I know her enough to say, this is not like you. I'm not even considering the words that you said or the feelings that you're experiencing right now. I know they feel really real, but I was like, I think you're just depleted. I think your body is so stressed because of all the stuff that you've been through in the last couple of years, and you're pregnant on top of that. Like, don't take yourself too seriously. Like, don't give yourself such a hard time. Don't take it personally towards God or yourself, So anyway, I just think that's something that just moms need to know, from one mom to another, from one friend to another. Like, you're probably having these crazy thoughts, or you're probably experiencing these wild emotions, not because you're a terrible, wicked person, but because there's trauma, because you have all these hormones raging and you're more sensitive to, it's just like wild and crazy, what our bodies can do. But when you are physically healthier, when you're in a healthy frame of mind, just consider you might not be there right now, and to not make a permanent decision in a temporary situation, right? Anyway, I just felt like to share that.